Okay, gang, we're back. It's almost 7 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna do Kalua pig on the Weber with my extension, my 55-gallon drum extension. And we'll talk about ugly drum smokers. That gave me the idea to make this extension for the 55-gallon drum. But I'd probably do another video on that one. But for today, we are gonna do Kalua pig in the smoker. We're not going to dig a pit, but we're going to do the best that we can. All right, let's go. Okay, so what we have here is probably 9.5. I got 4 of them, so probably 9.5 pounds. Pork shoulder. It is so simple. All right, and you know, guys will say, "Oh, go ahead and salt it first overnight and whatever." We are just putting Hawaiian salt on here. That is it. That's literally the ingredients. I think I might need some more. Okay, but I did the other 4 already. So we're just gonna put it on there. I'm not gonna have it soaked in the refrigerator. We're not gonna lose sleep over a whole lot of stuff. We're just gonna simple. Boneless pork shoulder, Boston butt. I would say use whatever because we basically Kalua the whole pig. But so I got a little bit more in my bag over here. Just dump it on there. Okay. In case you wanted to know what this is, just regular Hawaiian salt. A lot of recipes will use the alai salt, which is the pink one. I have it. I just don't have enough. I'm going to show you what that salt looks like when you buy it in a giant Costco bag. All right, Hawaiian salt. I'm telling you, it's not the same as sea salt. Okay, if you want to see what the pink salt looks like, or the alai salt, it's right there, and it says alai salt, A-L-A-E. It is not the same as pink Himalayan salts. It gets its color, as I understand, if you're on Kauai from the mud. Okay, we got pork butt, I call it pork butt, salted, top, back, inside, and we're just gonna cover it. If I had banana leaves, guys, I would use banana leaves. I don't. I have tea leaves. I have tea leaves in the yard, so I'm just gonna cover it with the tea leaves. With banana leaves, you know, if you're gonna put it in the pit, in the ground, you're gonna wrap it up nicely, you're gonna tie it. You guys can look up all the recipes on Kalua pig. I have a pan, a deep one, enough to catch all of the drippings, and not your traditional smoke if you've ever done Kalua pig. Kalua pig a little bit different. If you make Kalua pig without smoking it, you could literally boil it. I mean, the minimum recipe, boil it, or I should say simmer it out with liquid smoke. Obviously, we're not doing liquid smoke thing. That's all I'm gonna do, okay? And it's not a whole lot tight, but that's it. I'm using tea leaves. If you don't have tea leaves, don't use tea leaves. You could literally do it without it. I've done it before. I'm putting tea leaves on, again, because I have it. All right, on one side of this pan, you figure out how you're gonna do it inside your Weber smoker. I just do this because I got one side heat. You guys can see that, right? This is the side that the heat is going to come on. I don't want the direct heat right on the meat itself. Now, what I've done previously in one of the other pans, I got 4 of them, the meter temperature gauge is already in. All right, I've also got the fire going. So let's go outside. Guys, this is what it looks like. I'm just going to get it started. You can see I got 4 pans. Well, 2 of them here. We'll get them inside. You know how this works. I'll just show you what I've gotten right there. It's just slightly cracked open. Once I got it going, there's only one side. This is what this thermometer says. You know that's not going to be the true heat. But let's see what it looks like on the inside. All right, there you go. We got the heat only on one side. I have another one set up on this side because it's going to be a long cook, and that side's going to run out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to lift up the grate, and I'm going to drop my smoke chips. Actually, they're blocked, and we're going to use Mesquite today. So I don't know if you can see on the bottom, it's kind of dirty. It's really cracked open, really, really small. But we're gonna get this going before we lose too much heat. Okay, we have this loaded up. You can look inside. I dropped 2 blocks of mesquite in there. You can see the smoke coming up. You can see the bottom row, the top row, and we're gonna put the cover on. We're gonna make sure that the vents are opposite. Sorry, we're gonna make sure that the vents are opposite from the heat. And you can see this thing smoking away. I have not sealed this. The cover's not on good right now, so I'm gonna put the cover on a little bit better, and you're gonna see the smoke seal up a little bit, hopefully, and then come out the top. But I've done it without the seals. I bought them, I just haven't installed it yet. We're gonna go set up the meter now, and then we'll come back. All right, guys, we got the meter going. You can see the ambient temperature up there. It dropped down. So it's 114, it's going up. I have the meter actually on the outside of the bottom row. I'm thinking that's gonna be the coolest area. So we're gonna measure the ambient temperature from there. You see our target is gonna be 203. When you set the meter up, this is a pork shoulder done on a smoker. And we're looking at, you know, you can set it to whatever degree you want. So meter recommends 203 for pulled pork. And once this updates with the estimated cooking time, we'll come back. This is what it looks like right now. So we got some smoke coming out the top. I'm actually glad that the bottom, I used to have some leakage on the bottom, was sealed. But the fact that it's coming out the top, I'm okay with that. Ideally, it would be completely sealed and we'd only see smoke coming out of the vent. But you know, there's a lot of smoke going on in there. So we will come back once the estimated cooking time is updated. Okay, edit 1, guys. I came out here and I opened up the vent all the way. We'll bring this thing up to temperature, which I want somewhere between 225, 275. I really shoot for about 250. I'm projecting probably about a 10-hour cook. Last time I did this, it really stalled high, like at about 200, and just wouldn't get there. So I ended up throwing it in the oven, which we may do because I might run out of time today, but we'll see what happens at the end of this cook. Just for your reference, this is what the thermometer on the top on the cover says right now. It's almost 300, but we know it's not 300 on the inside. Okay, so a couple of updates. You can see actually the ambient temperature went up to like 180 something. What I did was I opened it up so the temperature dropped, and added in some more coals, and I added in another block of mesquite. The first series ran out, but let's see where we're at. The time remaining showed up. It initially started at 16 hours. It worked its way down to 11 hours. It's back up to 12. Like I said, I opened it up, added some more charcoals right there. We're about an hour and a half in. Let's see. Let's look at the graph here. And there it is. You can see where I opened up the top and it dropped. So you see the ambient temperature going up. Internal temperature is up to 62. This thing is just going super, super slow. And that's okay. We're just under 3 hours into the cook. There's some things that I'll update you on what I did. I added some more coals. I think I mentioned that earlier. Added some more mesquite. You know, I'm just watching the smoke. We got a little coming out right now. I'm gonna probably put that block in. I haven't touched the second side of coals yet, and maybe we won't have to, but it's now showing about 6 hours more on the cook, so total about 9 hours. That's what we're looking at right now. We look at ambient temperature, 218. It's almost at 100 degrees. Just for reference, if you look at that, it's over 300. Now remember, the meter probe is on the far side. So on this side of the bottom pork butt, where the heat is on that side. So it's the farthest away. So I'm guessing this will be the coldest area of the cook. And right now at about 218. So we're just gonna leave it at that. So just a real quick update for you guys. Probably open it up, throw some more mesquite inside, and let it keep on going. All right, I'm gonna do this one-handed. If you guys wanted to see what it looks like, that's just a little sneak peek of what we're looking at. And we got some color going on there. All right, I'm gonna close it up. and we'll be back. Okay guys, I thought this was an important point. It shows 11 minutes remaining, but if you look at internal temperature on the upper left, 197, target 203. And you know, we got some heat. We got over 250 right now. But check this out. Elapsed time, 7.5 hours. So, you know, once I started the second side of charcoal, in fact, let's go to the chart because we did some things here. Okay, so you can see the dip right here. What I did right at about 4 hours is I swapped the charcoal. I started the second side. I moved the pork butts. I always say, I'm saying pork butt the whole time, but it's pork shoulder. So every time I say pork butt in the video, pork shoulder in this case. All right, so I moved the top row to the bottom and the bottom row to the top. And what that did was that put the ambient, and I didn't change the vents. So the ambient temperature on the top is now measuring in the 300 or over the 268 to 300 area, high and then coming down. So it's running at 256 on the top. So I've never done this before regarding the meter and moving it around, but I would imagine all this right here was probably averaging right about 250 across the whole cook between the top and bottom row. So remember, right here, I swapped it. I put the 2 on the top, put it on the bottom, grabbed the 2 on the bottom, put it on the top, and I started the second side of charcoal and moved it over because the first side started dying. You can see we're super close right there. 198, it's gonna go 203. Now, remember what it said on the other side, the estimated time is 10 minutes. That's projecting out a carryover cook. And last time I did this, right at about 200, give or take, it stalled. It just would not move. So this is one of those things where I may not pull it out because remember, we're only 7.5 hours in. So I may leave it till 8, keep pushing this right there, 8 hours, and then we'll see where we're at before we pull it out. Because again, we can go to 203. Is there gonna be carryover cooking? Yeah, but we're looking at, we don't really care about going from medium rare to medium or rare to medium rare like on a prime rib. This is pulled pork, so it can go. All right, just an update on where we're at. So we're probably gonna shoot for another 20 minutes, half an hour in the smoke. So we're now at remove from heat, and believe me, that was a long, what was it, 6, 10, 12 minutes. You see on the top, 309. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I guess we're done with the cook. Saying 41 minutes resting. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna pull it off the heat, although I am gonna shut the vents and let it kind of keep carryover cooking inside the smoker, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so we pulled it off. It says resting, 23 minutes remaining. I think we started at about a half an hour. It did come up to 201. I pulled it out. There is well, you can see the tea leaves, very crispy. And yes, before I pulled it out, I had to drain off some of the, I'll call it the juices. But lift it up one, open up the tea leaves over here if you wanted to see what it looks like at 201. Just dig this in, and that's what it's gonna look like. So we'll just let it rest, and I think that's pretty much it. You know what we're gonna do with this? We're gonna shred it afterwards. I know what I'm gonna do with this. This is gonna be some omiyage or Christmas gifts later on, but we got a potluck coming on later on this week. But there you go, guys. Smoked Kalua pig. Catch you next time. Okay guys, I guess I can't bring you to the end of the cook without actually finishing the shredding of the Kalua pork. So I already did one pork shoulder. I said that correctly. We're gonna pull this one out. Pop it right in here now. Just for a measure, I got about this much juices back inside. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not gonna touch the camera because my hands are all greasy. But this is gonna go right back inside. We're not gonna throw this away. Yeah, it's gonna be swimming in juice. How's that? I'll leave it at that. Is there fat in there? Of course there is. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna shred. All right. I remember when I was in the army and we used to have bone-in, we used to use the bones and we used to shred the bone against each other. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how this falls apart right here. So you can see it all falling apart. You can see all the pink. So no smoke ring, just smoke, period. Okay. But it's all falling apart. What I'm going to do with this one is I'll just pull it apart. I'm going to let it cool because it's still kind of hot. It's a little tight, but that's okay because we're going to pack this up. And then when we heat it up, when you heat up Kalua pig for later, boil it. You're going to boil it because there's so much liquid in it. And then it'll loosen up and then go from there. All right. But anyway, that's what it looks like. It's all falling apart. We're going to shred it down, including, we're not throwing away anything. See the outer layer of fat? It's all going inside. That's where all the salt is at. It's really salty on the outside. So you got to really, really mash the fat part. Get it down to almost nothing. And let it spread all through the Kalua pork. Okay? But we'll put that on the side for now. And I'm going to show you what it looks like once we're done. So basically that's it. Kalua pork, again, we're going to put the drippings, and I'll just do it right now to show you. Right from here is all going to go back inside. Just put it in. And then when you mix it up, is it going to look like there's liquid in it? Yes, there is. It's going to be very, very wet. And when you keep it in the pot or whatever you're serving, you're going to pull it out the top. Is it going to drip? Potentially. But you don't want it sopping once you put it on the plate. Tonight, this is going to be sliders. Kind of a new thing for me over here. Made some coleslaw, lilikoi barbecue sauce, and of course King's Hawaiian bread. But there you go, guys. Kalua pig right to the end. Catch you later.